Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Milpark Business School information session. I welcome you to our virtual auditorium, as Quibus always says. Today, we have a fantastic session with our lovely staff from Milpark Business School, and I'm here, Michaela Thomas, to just walk you through a bit of the house rules before we get started. On the right-hand side of your screen, you will see there is a chat box. Please engage there, say hi, tell us where you're from, ask any questions. We'd love to hear from you. On the bottom of your screen, we have a poll running. If you'd like to hear more from us or like us to contact you with regards to the offerings, please click yes so we can get in contact with you. There's also an ask a question facility at the bottom of the screen. So if you'd like to ask any questions, you can pop them in there for our speakers after the session. But for now, I'm also going to run you through, we have Mentimeter. We're using Mentimeter to interact with you today. I'm going to make the screen bigger so we can see the question. All you need to do during the session is go to www.menti.com and use the code 40194468 to view the question in front of you. We're asking, what skills do you think MBA graduates need to be a force for good in South Africa? A lovely question to get through today. So guys, don't forget, go to menti.com to then answer the question. We'll get through into it and the answers after our interviews with our alumni. But for the moment, I'm going to hand over to our esteemed colleagues, Jane and Quibus. Over to you.
Thank you, Michaela, and good morning to everybody. I am going to share my screen, and I hope it's the right one. Wouldn't be good if it's... Yeah, I won't go there. So good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate the time that you are spending with us, because we know these days things just move so quickly and time is really so valuable. So we really appreciate that you are here, and hopefully we can have a really nice interactive chat and discussion so that you can get a feeling of who we are and why we are, and then we can move on from there. It's a very nice, good day in Johannesburg. It's a bit chilly, so being inside is possibly a bit better. I'm not sure how guys in Cape Town and the rest of the world are doing, but so far we're having a nice winter's day. So what I want to say is Quibus is going to take over, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what does Milpark Business stand for, why do we do what we do, and how do we want to be and want our students to basically learn and develop, and in what avenues, and why is that so important for us. So Quibus, I'm going to let you do some talking.
Oh, thank you very much. Colleagues, also from my little corner of the universe, welcome. Nice to spend some time with you. And let me, without any further ado, get the conversation going by giving you a snapshot of who we are and what is it that we stand for, as Jane has alluded to. So MBS has been around for more than 20 years with a national footprint in South Africa, 2 teaching campuses, one in Claremont, Cape Town, and Melville, Johannesburg, with our offerings being the Doctor of Business Administration, the Master of Business Administration, the 4 postgraduate diplomas, one in business admin, one in public admin, one in investment management, and one in banking. And then, of course, we also have executive education, short courses, and finally consulting. Now, we believe we provide quality scholarship in response to Management Education 4.0 and the world of work, and that we are a key contributor to ethical and sustainable business practices informed by the Sustainable Development Goals. So our mission, colleagues, our reason for being then is simply to develop ethical leaders for the common good. That is what we get up to in the mornings. And this mission is firmly rooted in our values of integrity, respect, excellence, and innovation. So in sum, ethical and sustainable business practice are at the heart of our teaching and our research philosophy. Hence, we empower future leaders to pursue ethical and sustainable business practices informed by the Sustainable Development Goals. And this reason for being is built on what we call phronesis, or practical wisdom, emphasizing not only the development, of great business leaders, but leadership for the common good. And we are very proud of our students' achievements in a wide variety of sectors and believe it reflects the impact we make as a business school. In the most recent PMR Africa National Employer Survey on business schools offering MBA degrees in South Africa, rated MBS second overall in the rankings in 2020. We are also very proud of being the only business school in Africa with AMBER accreditation for both our contact and our online MBAs. I trust you will find this session informative and inspirational, and we will have a few words again later on in the day. Jane, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kobus. That's super. We appreciate that. And I think just to elaborate on, you can see here we've got our team up on the slide there. And the way that the business school works, we rely on, we've got a fairly small core faculty that are full-time people within the business school. And obviously some people are working from campus and some people are working from home, and we're navigating the ways of work there. But we also have a very large adjunct faculty group of people that we work with they are working people. They are academically qualified, but they are in the world of work, so they're practitioners as well. And for us, that is really important because we need all of our students to have that underpinning from a theoretical point of view, which is great. However, you need to be able to apply whatever it is that you're learning from the get-go. And so all the adjunct faculty members have worked in business. They may be in consulting. They're doing another job as well. And all of that rich industry experience that they are using in their field of expertise, whether it's people management, leadership, operations and technology management, global trade, which is economics, they bring all of that. But you also have a solid team behind you where we have senior lecturers, we have got executive education, we've got the head there, and then we've got a good support team who understand our students, they love working with our students. And so those are the faces that you're seeing on the slide now. And you've got program managers, support managers, academic administrators, and everyone will jump in to help you if you need help. And hopefully we've taken you through induction and you know what to do, and so you know who to go to. So those are some of the people involved that you will get to know, hopefully. I've just got a reminder here to remind you as well, don't forget the Mentimeter question, because we would like to chat about the kind of skills that you think and are necessary for going forward and moving and changing what we need to change in South Africa, as well as the global issues. So I just want to touch on what we feel is unique about our program and about Milpark per se. So as Kobus has said, we do have the DBA and we have got postgraduate diplomas in banking, investment management and public administration. And you can see that specialization. What we also have is our postgraduate diploma in business administration, which is the route, say the bridge into the MBA. But if you go in that route, you get 2 postgraduate qualifications in 3 years. And so there are specific modules, subjects that you do on the postgraduate diploma that you receive exemption for on the MBA. So you've already starting with your MBA as you coming into Milpark in the postgraduate area. What we also feel is it's an immediate application in your work environment. So your employer who hopefully is supporting you and giving you some space and time to experiment with what you are learning, you can immediately implement new learnings into your work environment. And that's very important. It needs to be practical, but it also needs to be based on solid theories and things that work, and then new innovations that come through. We believe in each of our graduates, every single one of them, making sure that they have a positive contribution to society. So wherever they go, we want them to, and we encourage them to have a positive contribution. And we have subjects where they actually get to experience that straight away. When we talk about social responsibility and environmental management, straight away it is an impact into society there and then. And we find that those kind of modules are really, they set the tone, they set the foundation for the students moving through the qualifications. The curriculum as a whole is integrated. You have technical skills as well as soft skills. Now, we call them soft skills, but I don't actually agree that they are soft skills. I think it's quite hard in a way to make sure that you've got the emotional intelligence to work in a project team, which you do in any case at work. So we have group work, syndicate groups where you need to negotiate with people, you need to get on to deliver a project. So those are the things that are integrated within the curriculum and throughout the curriculum. We also want our students to understand quality scholarship, okay, and a deep understanding of what is scholarship and why is it important, so that management, in terms of management leadership within business, can respond to that quickly as possible. We want students to use their own voice. And so in your writing up of your reports and your assessments, we expect students to be able to give their own voice based on what they are learning in the classes, but it does need to be their own voice, because you do have minds and we're wanting you to use them and start thinking differently. There's an analysis of complex issues and looking at different alternatives, because we all see things in such different ways. And the more we talk about these issues, the more we realize and come to more dynamic solutions for business, for personal, and for society as a whole. We have local, national, and global issues that are looked at throughout the curriculum in different modules in relation to 4IR and then the Sustainable Development Goals. And those are really our kind of guiding things where we look at, are we making a difference, and really get students to start looking at that, because we don't have much time to achieve those goals. We need to have achieved everything by 2030, and I'm not sure that we are really there. We want students to become more creative and come up with imaginative solutions for issues at work that are credible, that make sense, not just pie in the sky, that really makes sense. And so that is what you're encouraged to do as you are working through the different modules. Then also to contribute to the development and implementation of responsibilities that individuals have and that businesses have towards our community. And it's different communities it might be, but as well as to the environment. We really need to start looking after the environment more and making sure that while we do that, business can be sustainable, because if we don't look after what we have, the resources we have, we're going to have a problem. We look at promoting the development of personal, interpersonal, and professional skills. So the foundation is a personal leadership orientation. You need to be responsible, accountable, be proactive, voice opinions, voice feedback, which we appreciate, and it's the way that you do it to actually add and to add value. So that's what we want our students to get to, so that they can go out into the world and make a difference. And when we chat to Timmy a little bit later, you'll see a an instance of making differences and what people can do after finishing this qualification or while doing the qualification. And then we also have close support from your lecturers, from the faculty, the team that I showed you, and then your peers. Your peers are an excellent network and support, and you will find and hopefully find that once you reach out and you start making those connections, those are the people that help you through the degree. It's a difficult degree, and you might be up at 12 o'clock at night trying to grapple with your assignment that you need to submit. I might not be awake at that time. Hopefully I'm not, but one of your peers will be. And you can then, often we find people bouncing ideas off each other at ridiculous times of the evening and night, because those are your networks, or even 4 in the morning. And so you'll build a really good relationship with the rest of your cohorts and your classmates. And it's, be it distance learning or contact learning. And that's what we find is really valuable. And it moves, even contact learning people and distance learning online people do actually share connections and all of that. So I think while I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to ask Michaela to ask Timmy to come and have a chat to us. Hopefully we actually can see him. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. We did see him.
Hi, Jane. I think Timmy is connected with just audio today.
With just audio. Okay, that's fine. Timmy, are you there? Can you hear me?
I am, Jane. How are you?
Yay! Good, and you? Good.
Always well. I'm sorry.
And it was good to at least see you earlier.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've got load shedding, so my Wi-Fi is a bit intermittent, and I don't want to cause issues. Hi, guys.
There you go. So, without further ado, let me ask you. Okay, Timmy. First of all, why did you choose Milpark?
Jane, I was at my previous employer, was the legal manager there, and I was actually sent to Milpark to do a NQF6 CMD program. It's a leadership program that you did through the CETAs, and it was quite intense. It had all the different aspects: leadership, project management, financial management. Just the basic NQF6, and making a long story short, I got hijacked and kidnapped. And I was at the psychologist, and she asked me, "What is your long-term plan?" And I didn't have one. So my wife said, "You know what, go and study something." And because I was at Milpark before with the CMD, then I applied and got into the program. So that's how I got to you.
You see, and it's amazing how such a traumatic thing can lead to something quite positive.
Yeah, and I think, my life was a mess at the time. So it is actually the best thing that ever happened to me, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but true. So let us know. So you've got a background in law, but what skills do you think the MBA gives you?
Yeah, I'm admitted as an attorney for 21 years, so I'm quite a senior attorney. I got my B Proc degree in 1995. So, yeah, it was difficult, to get back into studying. But I think, if you start looking at our country specifically, the problem is skills. We do not have them. And I'm talking from leadership, and that is, I think, the most important thing. Is the leadership skills that are lacking, decision making, statistical analysis. Those are all the skills that is required in business today, that is required in government today. I am a civil servant, and I see that the skills shortage that is around, and I think those are the most critical skills. It's critical thinking, which I see is lacking. Leadership and analytical skills, and those were the ones that gave me the most benefit from the MBA program.
Oh, that's good to hear. And let us know as well, what was the impact and the value of the MBA to both your life and then your career as well?
Sure. Don't be mistaken. The MBA takes over your life. If you are not 240% committed to the MBA, you're not going to make it. It is intense. I mean, I had 2 mental breakdowns during the 3 years in which I was doing it. We still had contact, so we had classes at night and over weekends. But yeah, guys, you have no life. It's just the way that it is. And I think the first thing I want to say with this question is that it brought me and my family closer together. Because of the limited time that I had with them, our time became quality time, real quality time. So I think that is, in my personal life, the most important thing, because I had such support from my wife and my child. I was self-funded. My wife earns much more money than I do, so thank goodness she could fund it for me. But I think we've never been in, and I've been married 21 years also, and we've never in the 21 years been so close as we are now because of the quality of the time that we spent. From a professional point of view, I'll give you a simple example. I sit on various credit industry forum subcommittees, and I chair a lot of them. And some of these subcommittees were started in 2013 and just never went anywhere. And with the leadership skills and the critical thinking and just getting the buy-in through authentic leadership that I've learned through the MBA program, we've issued more circulars in the last 2.5 years than we did in the last 10. We finished up more subcommittee work in the last 2 years that the NCR did in probably 8 years. So it's grabbing the problem by the scruff of the neck, getting down with analysis to where the problem actually is, and then through motivating people and through influencing people, getting the problem done. So it is, I immediately started implementing whatever I've learned from the classroom the next morning into business. And it's really made a hell of a difference. I won the industry award last year for the most influential person within the credit industry. And I put that all to the MBA program and everything that I've learned.
Wow, to me, that is good to hear. Congratulations. Well done. Wow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, sure. So you mentioned that your family support structures were in place and were there. What other support did you have that you kind of put in place to assist you?
I don't have any other support structures, to be honest. The work that I was doing as a legal manager when I started in my first year wasn't very supportive. I think it was because of management felt that they are being threatened, and which was very unfortunate. But I got very little support from my employer. Where I am now in the state, there is no money for financial support or otherwise. But the manager where I am now is very supportive was very supportive as to the time that I need, the little bit dairy milk in the morning, and gave me time and gave me space to do what I need to do. So didn't have much, but whatever I had, I took the most advantage of.
Yeah. So, and it is, like you said, it's really an important thing to have some set of support structures, especially your family, for them to understand, why it is that you're spending so much time focusing on something else. I don't think we can overemphasize that need. And then often we do find, employers, and it sometimes just happens, they want you to do the work, but then, or the studying, and sometimes it is quite difficult from a work perspective. Work doesn't stop; it just keeps on. So to find that person who can then support you and give you a little bit of insight, or if you are able then to, like you said to me, to take what you've learned the evening before and start running with it the next day to see if it works. I think that's what we're also looking to do.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's so strange. You know, you especially if you're in management already, you do certain things, but you don't know why. And the night before, you know, you actually do the theory. You know, and you think, yeah, but I actually do this, but I just don't know why. And once you get into that deeper theory, you know, then you start understanding why you're doing things, and then you become much more efficient, and the outcomes become much more effective.
Yeah, yeah. Let us know a little bit about from your perspective, the support structures at Milpark. As we were saying earlier, you were a student that did what you needed to do. But if you can share a little bit about the program manager support, what did you get from Milpark in that perspective at all?
Yeah, we had Evelyn that was, you know, looking after us. And I'm not a person that's got lots of issues. You know, I solve my issues myself, and I deal with things that needs to be dealt with. But, you know, every time I had a problem or I needed assistance or whatever, you know, I could always press on Evelyn's button. She was always there for me. She would answer my email straight away. And I really had a hassle-free MBA as far as Milpark's administrative staff is concerned. You know, a lot of things happened while we were there with COVID that changed everything. You know, it was so difficult to go from contact learning at class at night to come online, especially in the last year with a subject like strategy.
Yeah.
And also group work. You know, I'm very good at pulling a group together, but I need to sit across from you. So group work became very difficult online. We did very well, actually. I think at one stage we were second in the world in the strategy game that we were playing. And in the end, it was only Washington State University that overtook us in our results. So that was a great adjustment that had to be made. But Milpark was there. You guys called us in for meetings. You know, when there were issues, we had a collective decision making and buy-in from everybody, which you don't find so often these days. But yeah, no, never had any problems.
Well, that's also good to hear. And we do like to meet with students and to find out your perspectives and what's going on. So, and I think our program managers, I mean, that is what they want to also do and find out so that we can make things a bit better for the guys coming in, or people coming in afterwards. So you're kind of a bit of a guinea pig in a way. Timmy, also, so if some of the people who are on today, what advice would you give them? Someone who's starting out on this postgraduate journey, what advice would you give them in order to help them be more successful?
Yo, how much time have you got? Guys, this is NQF 9. This is not name 7 advantages of regenerative farming. This is not this. This is go into your garden and start doing regenerative gardening. This is a do. This is not theory. This is go out there and get it done. It's practical. You are going to be challenged in every aspect of being a student. You say 12 o'clock at night, people share ideas. No, that's up to 3, 4 in the morning. You know, many days I didn't sleep. Let's just be very honest about this. This is a monster. And if you are going to underestimate the time and the effort that it's going to take, you are going to be disappointed. So the absolute first piece of advice is sit your family down and discuss how are you going to approach this journey. Excuse me. You have to get that buy-in. And, it might sound very strange, but you forget over time. Sit and write it down. Write your agreement down with your people. I will spend Saturday nights with you, and I will spend Friday nights with you. But other than that, and maybe Sunday church, but other than that, there is no time. You have no time. The second one is study within your capabilities. I did not do it in 2 years. I did it in 3 because I saw that I could only handle 3 subjects per semester. So have a look at your capabilities. If you feel that you are going outside of your capabilities, scale it down a little bit. But you absolutely have to have enough time to deal with this. And that's the second part. The third part is set up a dedicated place in your home. I'm fortunate to have a man cave, so I took everything out the man cave and set it up as a study room. A place there where you have good internet, a place where you can have quiet, a place where you can throw things around and nobody would be hit by it. So, and then the last part, it just slipped out my mind now. And it's such an important point. I can't remember now. But yeah, I think, if you have, and Google Scholar. Google Scholar is the best thing since sliced bread. And so for you guys that are listening, you go into Google, you put in Google Scholar, and it takes you into this world of research that is mostly free. And I tell you that with EBSCOhost is going to become your friends. My daughter the other day went into my history and she wants to find out what sites I visit most because we like doing things like it. And Google Scholar was by far, I think if you put everything together, Google Scholar outnumbered all of it. So that is going to become your biggest friend going forward within this program.
That's very good advice. Thanks, Timmy. I think we underestimate Google Scholar, and we use it all the time. It's great. You can get such nice, interesting articles and current research. So thanks, Timmy. That is a really, really important piece of advice for everybody. Anyone who's listening, who's studying, doesn't matter what level, go there. So now tell us, you told us a little bit about perhaps future plans. How are you managing now in 2021? How are you refocusing? What are your plans, life plans, post MBA?
You know what? I've got so much time now. You end up not knowing what you are going to do with yourself. I've always been into small farming, substantive farming, and I have really got back into that. Again, Google Scholar is fantastic for that. And I've had the best yields of my vegetable garden that I've had in decades. I enjoy it so much. I'm great into fishing. As an introvert, I enjoy these lonely type of things. And I've fished maybe 14 times a week sometimes. That's how much time I have now. So it is absolutely fantastic. I can now do things that's good for the soul. And that's from a personal point of view. From a work point of view, I've got so much more skill to get things done. I've got, especially with being focused, I've put certain things in place of how I'm going to do it, like my inbox, like I said to you. There's only one way of solving an inbox, and that is killing a query as you get it. Because if you don't, that one query turns into 74 emails. That is going to just take up your time. So from a professional point of view, it's really given me, the skill to be a better public servant. And you can see that from the results that we're getting. I'm actually forgot your question. Sorry, just
it's just basically your life plans, what you're doing now.
And then obviously, with my daughter being 15, we really need to start looking for opportunities for her. I don't know if that opportunities exist here, that we can debate. But my life is over. It's time that we start looking at giving her the opportunities, and we strongly believe the opportunities is overseas. And for that purpose, I've started applying a while back for positions overseas. And it looks like a United Nations position in New York is going to be the one that takes us out of here. But you know what? Without the MBA, there is no way that anybody would even look at you for positions like that. And I think that is the biggest door opener that you can get is the AMBA accredited MBA. And, it really amazes me every time of the level of work that I can apply for now, which would never have been the case before.
Well, that is really positive. And I mean, for us, when it does come off, we've got an ambassador then, another one of our alumni who is working overseas, and, we have quite a few, and it's great for us to see the impact that people are making globally, and that is the ultimate, is to make local, national, and global a better place. So thanks to me. It was really nice chatting to you. We do need to catch up again. Hopefully one day we can go and have coffee on campus. Don't know.
100%. No, 100%. No, thank you for the invite. I'm humbled by being able to chat to new students and to just catch up with you guys again.
Super. Thanks. And fishing, gardening, I think that's fantastic. I'm so impressed. Didn't know you did that. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Right. So I'm going to move on. Thanks to me. And then to let any of you know, we do work with Capitec and for payments. Often it is quite important where you need to have some support in terms of funding. So we do have an agreement with Capitec where you get a decent discounted interest rate and an extended time to pay. So that is one thing that there is in place to help you and support you. Definitely, if you'd like to find out about that, before we go into the Mentimeter and have a chat about the questions and themes that have come up there, if you want a one-on-one meeting at Milpark, we can call, set up a Zoom meeting, whatever suits you. Noni is our advisor, so she would possibly be the first port of call. She knows the MBA. She's been working with our students for a long time. She is waiting for your call. That's great. We can send you prospectus as well if you complete the poll. And then we've also got a webinar series of current events, interesting things that are happening. So if you'd like to join that as well, please do so. But we're definitely looking forward to chatting with you and taking you further in terms of your inquiries for your journey of studying further. Michaela, do we have anything from our Mentimeter before we go into our choices?
We have some lovely answers to the Mentimeter question. I'm just going to bring them up quickly onto the screen, and I'm going to invite Cobus back just to discuss the answers before us. So give me a second, and I will let Cobus back in. Okay. Technology at its finest. There we go. Awesome.
Yay. Okay. I must have quite a lot. I like that. Ooh.
Okay, so what skills do you think MBA graduates need to be a force for good in South Africa? So we noticed there in the first block, top left, leadership people, management of product, also management, what's it, management,
Product management. No.
product management, and then being able to dive into very niche business domains. Then there's one about team player with a focus on ethics. There's one of empathy, leadership. Of course, it's a recurring theme. Ready and willing to tackle issues head on. And then supportive and nurturing individuals and adapting to change.
Sure.
The other one is asking the right questions and challenging thinking by creating discussion. Oh my word, even the dog now wants to make a comment. Business skill, marketing skill, management skill, human resources management skill. Yeah, Jane, so there's a few thoughts there about what MBA graduates need to be a force for good in South Africa. My humble submission is that the departure is one of force for good. The force for good. So, and by that, I'm not reading or not thinking that the commercial imperative doesn't at all play a role, in the company's sustainability, etc. I think the one, I don't know what your thoughts are, the comment that I observed there on with a focus on ethics. I mean, that is very, it resonates very much with what we stand for, who we are. And I know it's oftentimes, a bit of a, we could end up with a list of 100, 200, etc. And I think that the intent with this type of question is just to get the juices flowing, and see what people think and what's in their hearts. So, if it's perceived that adapting to change, as an example, is important, then we would want to raise our hand and say that we are your partner in being able to adapt to change. Likewise with the leadership and the people management, etc. Jen, I don't know your
looking at what has come out of here and looking at the themes, I like that it's an orientation towards people, because I think we perhaps underestimate how important people are in terms of achieving goals and that. But then again, being the comment of being a team player with a focus on ethics, what is ethics and what is the common good? And then what I find very interesting is the empathy part of that.
Yeah.
And that is also from our perspective in the postgraduate diploma when we do design thinking. It's looking at the people that you are designing for, solutioning for, from an empathy perspective. And I think sometimes we lose that understanding or that orientation because we're so busy. So we're trying to adapt to change so quickly, and people don't know how to do that. And what we're wanting, and I think does happen, is for our students to be able to learn how to adapt to change. I mean, as Timmy said, they went through a huge change last year. It was a radical and unexpected change,
Yes.
which, and they needed to keep on going. And so those underpinning things in terms of the leadership, the people management elements. I find it interesting that nobody came up to say we need technical skills like management accounting. Yes, but even though they are important, But I think those kind of skills perhaps we underestimate, and the business skills as a whole. I think we do lack that in. I think it's actually a worldwide issue.
Yeah.
And for me, the leadership coming through is like, yes, people are,
Yeah. Now, what we see as well is there's the expression of the typical management functions, marketing management, human resources management, and so forth. And I'm sure, each one of those little clusters make up, and that's what's so nice about this. It builds a much broader picture and an important thing to remember, of course, and some of what Timmy said, also alluded to that. But the MBA is not the silver bullet that's now going to, it's just another building block in your development and your growth, etc. But what I want to believe, and Jana, you will support me with this, is that if you really want to become a force for good in South Africa, then I would want to challenge you that our MBA is something for you to consider. We have also found the way by many years of experience and trial and error, especially now with everything being in this two-dimensional world. How do you still create this immersive experiences? And Timmy alluded to the strategy module where the simulation that is used, where you kind of work on this like real life simulation, and that how well they as a syndicate group did, because they do a global comparison, which is quite a nice thing. Many universities in the world also use the same thing. But so for us it would be, yes, definitely the leadership and the people, being able to dive into very niche business domains. Yes, to be a team player with a focus on ethics and empathy, of course. Yes, the support of and nurturing individuals, caring, the ready and willing to tackle issues head on.
Yeah.
And
then
then,
I like that.
Yeah.
That thought coming through, because you need to.
Yeah. And then the adapting to change and the asking the right questions. That's also a very interesting one. They say you should judge a man not by his answers, but by his questions. So asking the right questions is so important, and challenging thinking by creating discussion. I personally, it resonates with me. I think in an era where we are that we live with so much information that's being pushed at us, is to and it links with Timmy's the critical thinking, but challenging the thinking, and then by creating that discussion. I think it's so important. We don't talk enough to get to the bottom of things and to the truth, in business, in life, in society, etc. And then, of course, the usual business skills, management, marketing, etc. So, colleagues, if those are the important things to you, you'll definitely find them with us. but I want to guarantee you a much fuller, much more infused experience.
Yeah. And what I really, so those areas of empathy, being proactive in terms of tackling issues head on, those are areas that are embedded and implicit as you navigate through life, and skills that you need over and above, or maybe as a foundation to your business skills and your say classic marketing skills and understanding, so that you can do those things. So I think that the depth of looking at what skills is needed from what we've got here has been very interesting, and just sparks a bit of thinking as well from our perspective, Kobus, to say, okay, not a checklist, have we got all of that, but I think it's great that people are so the business skills are given, but the ethics is an important part. The leadership is actually an important element of what skills we need as a country.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Indeed.
Thank you so
much. Don't know if there are any other questions on there. I don't see any specific questions there. If anybody's we've got a few minutes. You can always ask something. But I think, am I back there? My slide back there. I put you on.
Yes.
Yes, I'm there. So I think I'm going to, normally we leave Kobus to close off and to thank everyone. So I'm going to say thank you all for being here, for your great insights in terms of the question that we had. I really appreciate that, and I think Kobus as well. So I'm going to say cheers, and over to Kobus.
And over to me. So, Jane, thank you so much. It's always nice sharing the platform with you and Michaela and our alumni, and of course our visiting friends. So maybe just a few thoughts in leaving. Why Milpark? And I want to suggest a few point takeaways, when you now reflect and ponder on this. But number one being that we are an AMBER accredited only online MBA in Africa. All right. Of course, the 2020 PMR rating was second overall for the MBA, and as well as first overall for executive education in 2020. We are convinced that our program is contemporary and it's relevant. It talks to the issues of the day, and then our experienced facilitators that come from industry that Jen referred to right at the beginning, the practitioners, that's from the trenches, and then a learning environment that promotes growth, producing experiences for our students, and that we are convinced impacts all three modes of learning, namely cognitively, emotionally, and physically. The Romans taught their children nothing could be learned while sitting down, thereby just implying it's not just about a mental exercise. It's about the practice. It's about also the doing side of things and the emotion that gets involved there as well. And for us, for Jane, myself, the team, the students are the focus in the teaching and learning transaction. So, as was stated, it was fantastic spending time with you. We wish you all the best, and take care of yourself, your loved ones, and hope to see you soon.
Thanks so much. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.